It's coming up eBay. Look at that. That's $1,180 for a power steering pump. Welcome my friends, 7 Gray here. As you can hear by the engine, I am warming up the step van. It's in the morning, a little bit cold up here in Silverthorne. Today I am headed down the hill. This is going to be, I don't know, I'm going to go very, very, very slow. In a previous episode, which I'll link above, I explained that my power steering and brakes have gone out at random times. Usually this is happening at very, very low RPMs and very low speeds, like 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour or less. It doesn't really happen when I'm traveling fast. So we think that it's some sort of ball valve inside of the power steering pump. So I've ordered a new power steering pump. It's being delivered down to Monument, Colorado. The reason it's being delivered there is, well, I didn't really have any help to get it done up here in Silverthorne, couldn't get the parts locally, and I think I can get some help down near Colorado Springs. So I'm headed down to Doug's house where it's going to be delivered there, and it should be a lot cooler up there in the Black Forest area, and hopefully I can get this installed in the next couple of days. That is my hope. I'm crossing my fingers that I'm able to do this. It'll be the largest mechanical project that I will have taken on myself with the step van. Anyway, step van seems to be warm. I'm going to hit the road. Good news, I made it down the mountain. It's about a 2-hour drive to come down here to the Black Forest Monument area where Doug is. And I arrived, and apparently my package arrived 4 or 5 minutes before I did. So I pulled up and the package is here. So I have a new power steering pump that I need to get installed. But I'm just thankful the ride down here was perfect. Brakes were perfect, no problems at all. I just took it really slow, 40, 45 miles an hour, coming down the hill, using lower gear, checking the brakes all the time. Everything went really smoothly. Here's my package. Here's the package. That's what I've been waiting for. So hopefully I can get this installed in the next day or two. Just have to find a place that I can sit down and get this work done. I'm editing this video right now and I'm missing a couple of parts. A short time after I received the power steering pump, the box there, I opened it up and discovered that the part looked drastically different than the part on my actual step van and what I saw in the service manual. So I was talking to Doug there in Colorado Springs, Black Forest, where the package was delivered, and he said, why don't you have my son look at it? And his son was there visiting, who is, I guess, probably in his early 20s. His name is Ben. And so I talked to Ben and found out that he had a trade degree, I think a 2 or 3 year degree in industrial diesel mechanics, heavy duty diesel mechanics, working on vehicles exactly like the step van. So Ben came out and took a look at the step van, and he confirmed what both Tom and what Steve had been telling me. Tom was the guy at the Van Life Gathering who looked at it. Tom was the one who recommended flushing out all of the old brake fluid and putting in new brake fluid. So he made a run into Basalt, got the new bottles of brake fluid, and that's what he was doing while I was serving tea. I'll link that video above. So new brake fluid was put in then, and then Tom said if that doesn't work, then I need to look at the master cylinder and the power steering pump, because the power steering pump feeds the pressure and the hydraulic system up to the boost assist, which is right behind the brakes. So the power steering pump actually runs all of the hydraulics for both the brakes and for the power steering, which is why they think that that's what's affecting it. And specifically, Steve is the one who came up with this. Steve is my friend in Denver. He said that there is a ball valve inside of the power steering pump which opens when your engine is at low RPMs, when it's not producing, you know, just tons of power, that this ball valve opens up to sort of assist or augment the hydraulic system so that it doesn't drop out like it's doing. So the theory or the thought is that this ball valve is sticky and it's not opening all the time, and so when I'm at low RPM, say starting up cold, in the, say, a parking lot early in the morning, starting up the engine cold at low RPMs, I have no power steering or power brakes. Very much like a gas vehicle, when you start it up very cold in the morning and you don't have any, when you don't give it RPMs, you don't have power steering. It's exactly the same scenario. So this happens for me when I'm in gear and just the last 3 or 4 miles an hour, as the engine is sort of fighting against the transmission as I'm slowing down at like 3-4 miles an hour, coming to a stop. So there's two solutions without doing anything. One solution is to pop it into neutral when I'm at about 6 or 7 miles an hour and rolling to a stop. Put it in neutral and just give the gas pedal just a little bit so I still have RPMs and there's no pressure under the engine. And then the brakes are totally good. This power steering is totally good because I have enough RPMs to keep the pump going, and it's not an issue with the ball valve. So that's one solution. Okay, I'm typing in the part number here on Google, and it's a VIC 021434294, and click OK, and it comes up with the results, and here it is on eBay. It's coming up eBay. Look at that. That's $1,180 for a power steering pump. That is crazy. That's so crazy expensive. Obviously, I don't want to pay $1,100 for a power steering pump. That is just absolutely ridiculous. So I've been checking around, trading some emails, talking to people who are in the know, and from what I understand, I can actually get the power steering pump rebuilt. And so that's currently what I'm looking into, is rebuilding the power steering pump, trying to get quotes on that, trying to get somebody who can help out with that. And then also looking at the master cylinder, looking at the rubber gaskets and seals in there to see if I can replace those. And because it's still functioning great, I think it's just 22 years old and the rubber seals are starting to fade. So that's my current direction that I'm going down, is looking for a place to do a rebuild on the power steering pump, and getting new rubber pieces and parts for the master cylinder. I think between those two, my brakes and power steering will be functioning perfect, and I will fix all of my problems. So that's all I have for this episode. Thank you all for your comments and for your concern about my safety, safety of others. Please know that I'm trying to be as safe as possible. So I've had 3 mechanics looking into this. I've had Tom actually swap out the brake fluid, Ben looking at it, looking at the part. I've had Doug looking at it. I've been on the phone exhaustively with Steve, and they're all concurring and giving me the same advice. So I think this is the direction to go. Thank you for watching this episode. Savor the moment, and see you next episode.